Got my legal hustle, welcome to the trap. I can blow a stack, bet I make it back. You can hit my line if you need a track. But we can't even talk if it ain't about the bag.
What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Now, this is one of the biggest stories in hip-hop. It's been ongoing for about 2 years and some change now. Y'all already know what it is. I'm sure you've already seen the verdict of the Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion case, or should I say the state of California versus Tory Lanez case. Tory Lanez has been found guilty on all charges. And regardless of any of our opinions about the activities that happened that night, that is where it stands. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how you may feel about the evidence, how you may feel about the witnesses that came forth, all of those things, there may be some mysterious things, some murky waters for you. I don't know of a court case that isn't like that. Nonetheless, the verdict is in, guilty on all charges. So let's do a little quick breakdown. The jurors were tasked with the responsibility of putting in a verdict on this case. There were 7 women, 5 men on the jury. It took them 2 days to come to a unanimous decision. In the case, Megan indicated that there hasn't been a day that's gone by where somebody hasn't been calling her a liar and or shaming her for being a grown woman and having sex, you know what I'm saying, with Tory Lanez or possibly the baby, possibly Ben Simmons, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of seemed as though this case was predicated on her sexual history with these people, but it's really about the facts leading up to when she was shot in her foot. All of the extra stuff is for narrative shifting and trying to get the jury to see her from a skewed point of view, or from a particular point of view that would put her in their eyes a promiscuous woman, dishonest woman. We can't believe her judgment. We can't believe, you know what I mean? They tried to play up the idea of her being drunk to the point where she wouldn't have known what was going on. All of these things were put in place. But at the end, the jury came to a unanimous decision. Now, of course, during this case, there was a point where people started to believe that her former best friend, Kelsey, could have been the shooter. You know, there was a dispute about whether or not they had gotten into a fight. There was a witness account that said that he saw them in a basically Royal Rumble style fight where all 4 parties, Tory, Megan, Kelsey, and Tory's security, were all in a melee or some sort of disruption in the middle of the street. Shots were fired. Multiple shots were fired. Tory has to walk away with the blame. There was also the dispute on whether or not Tory Lanez had offered Megan and Kelsey both $1 million not to go through with this. We really can't tell. We don't have the paper trail to say whether or not he tried to exchange any money on them. But again, he's got to walk away with the blame on this. So let's go over the charges real quick, man. So he was charged with felony negligent discharge of a firearm, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and carrying a loaded and unregistered firearm. Found guilty on all 3 counts. He is now in custody and awaiting sentencing on January 27th. So he has to sit in jail for a month before he can get a full sentencing and figure out just how long he's going to have to sit for this crime. You know what I'm saying? People are talking about appeal. That's going to be something later on in the process. Tory's family, his father and his stepmother, erupted in the courtroom, started yelling out that people were evil, calling people witches and F-Rock Nation and all of this type of stuff, man. It just became a scene like a movie almost. Like at some point, I do believe that this is going to be reenacted in a film, in a TV show or something. I don't know if Irv Gotti's going to try to spin this on Tails. Who knows, man? And at this current juncture, he's just going to have to sit and wait and deal with the ramifications of this judgment. Now, do I believe that he's going to have to sit in prison or jail for 22 years? I don't believe so. I think that they're going to probably go in a little harsh, maybe giving him anywhere between 8 to 10 years. But I don't think he will have to serve that amount of time. We've seen people get out in 2 years. We've seen people get out in 3 years for even worse charges, having worse, you know what I mean? People catch bodies and get out. You know what I mean? People rob banks and shoot people and get out sooner than, you know, 22 years. I think he's gonna have to sit down for a little bit. He may try to release an album before he goes in, or maybe have his team put out some music on him, release some of his music videos to keep his name alive, get some support rallying around him. That would be the smart move. That would be the smart move to also keep income coming in for his family. But at the end of the day, you got to deal with this. Leading up to this, I was sitting like, man, if he gets off, he's going to be owed an apology from the entire world and industry for basically making him slow down his operations. But the tables have turned, and I think a lot of people owe Megan Thee Stallion an apology. A lot of people question her character. A lot of people question her ingenuity and her honesty. And some of the court case may have revealed areas where she blurred the lines between what's true. But ultimately, what she said happened. They determined that it happened. So I think that a lot of people owe her an apology. And I think that the next move from Megan is hopefully, to go and get this next trial over with 1501 certified. Hopefully Roc Nation can get her out of that deal, and they can start moving forward. They shouldn't rush out music or an album, but like start putting her out there with women's groups and organizations. Get some donations made, you know what I'm saying? Get the media back on your side, because so many people were having to pick a side, and there were people that stood by her. There was a lot of people that were accusing her and felt opposite. Of course, I think the nature of each publication definitely had something to do with it. You could see more male-run publications that were siding with Tory, and you could see more women-run publications and accounts and profiles that were aligning with Megan Thee Stallion. But like I said, I think if Roc Nation aligns her with the right organizations, puts her in the right light, get the right media spin, I'm sure she will do something that will kind of get people to empathize with her a bit. You get the 1501 thing out the way, get the freedom for her to put out the music as she sees fit. You start releasing music, an actual good single on her, because the last couple of years been rough. Proper music videos, proper touring, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. In a year or two, I think she will be way past all of this. People that hang on to it will be looked at like, why y'all holding on to the past? And she can kind of skyrocket. I'm sure people out there probably believe that she's sacrificed him to catapult herself. I don't see why Tory Lanez would be that type of collateral damage. I don't think anyone would have chosen him as a target to be like, yeah, he's going to be the guy that blows you up to the next level of your career. If you take him down, he wasn't important enough for all that. So I don't think that was the overall agenda. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know your assessment of this whole thing. Do you believe that Megan Thee Stallion was validated with this judgment? Or do you believe that this case was completely botched? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that post notification bell for all updates. I'm going to try to get something out for y'all at least Christmas Eve or Christmas. We'll see. But I'll catch you guys on the next one, whenever that is. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Have a good time with y'all family, and happy holidays. Peace.